Saluton, parolas Tomaso.
Kaj mi estas Logano.
Kai bonvenon al Lernu kun Logano. All right, we're here with Lesson 9. Leziono now. And the first topic of today is fractions. Logan, what do we talk about with fractions? How do you make a fraction in Esperanto?
You add the suffix ono.
Ono, right. So let's say we wanted to say half. How do you say half in Esperanto?
Duono.
Duono.
Like duono. Duono.
Right. So the number 2 is du, and ono is the fraction. So duono means half. In the supplemental video that I made last week, I talked about it being quarter till something. It was actually quarter till 2. How do you say quarter?
Kvarono.
Kvarono, right? So you say uno, du, tri, kvar, and ono is kvarono. So let's say we have, 2/3. How do you do that?
Du trionon. Trionoi.
Du trionoi. So you use the number 2, and then if there's more than 1/3, you make it plural. And these numbers also take other endings. So if you want to say, I have 2/3, how do you say that?
Mi havas tu duonoin.
That's thirds. You want to say, I have 2/3. You said two halves.
Oh. Mi havas du trionoi.
So mi havas du trionoin.
I got it right the last time.
You got it all. I got all the sounds out. Just have to practice. Mi havas du trionoin. The next topic is the word si, spelled S-I. We'll also see that as sia if it's possessive, and sin if it has the accusative on the end. I think we talked about that in a previous lesson, and it was explained really briefly, and it's explained a little briefly in the lesson material here too. We did not talk about this ahead of time. Are you familiar with that? Do you know what that word is?
No.
All right, so si is another pronoun. It refers to the subject of the sentence. So if I say the father ate his lemonade, or if the father drank his lemonade, whose lemonade is he drinking?
His.
Who's he?
And the subject.
John's mad because the father drank his lemonade.
John's father.
Yes, so depending on the context in English, the word his could either mean John's or it could mean the father's lemonade. Esperanto uses 2 different pronouns, and one would be the he, li, she, g, those ones that we know about, and this one is si. So si always refers to the la patro trinkis sian limonadon. Sanon.
Dankon.
La patro trinkis sian limonadon. Whose lemonade's being drunk there?
His dad's. The father?
Yes, so that means the father is drinking his own. So then if we were to use a different word, la patro trinkis lian limonadon,
his,
that would mean somebody else's. And it's the same way with she. Mi konas ŝian patron. That means what? Mi konas.
I am familiar with.
Yeah.
What's the sentence again?
Mi konas ŝian patron.
I am familiar with her dad.
Yeah, I know her dad is what that means. Let's say I say ŝi konas sian patron.
She knows her dad?
Yeah, she knows her dad. That's what I said sia. But if I were to say ŝi konas ŝian patron, what does that mean?
She knows.
Ŝi konas ŝian patron.
She knows her dad.
Right, and it's got to be a different her because we didn't say sia. So whenever the subject of the whenever the pronoun needs to refer to the subject of the sentence, and it's third person, that is, if it's he, she, it, or they, then you need to use si. Hey, Logan.
Yeah.
So we got some questions here on the screen.
Okay.
I think it shows up in the camera picture. It says, here's a question. La scatolo estas blua, ĉu ne? What does ĉu ne mean there?
Is it not?
Yes. So let's say, and the other one is the box isn't, the other sentence is La scatolo ne estas blua, ĉu? What does that mean?
Like, it, like right?
Yeah. So the box isn't blue, is it?
Yeah.
All right. So this next part over here has some more endings on it. So we have the word bona. That means,
Good.
and let's say we said bonega.
That's even a bigger good.
Even a bigger good. That means excellent. And then we have bonetta. What is that? What is that?
Bonetta.
All right, we'll skip that one. So
I've never heard the et.
Yep, et means small. So we talk about autobusetto, or we say bonetta. That means just a little bit good. We have varma
Warm.
and varmega.
Hot.
And what would varmetta be?
A bit warm.
Yep. The next section that we have has some endings on there that might be new. One of them is ek. I know we've heard that in Mazi. And Mazi, they kind of use it as kind of like, let's go, ek, right? But in the one other use for that prefix, or those letters, that word, is as a prefix. So if we want to say la suno ek brilis, that means the sun is beginning to shine. It has to do with something starting or something being real short in duration. La birdoi ek cantis.
The birds began to sing.
Yep. Oh, I could say ekstaro. What does that mean? Ekstaro.
Outside?
No, it means stand up.
Oh.
Stari means to stand, just like that. Look at that. And then we have the word ad, the suffix ad, ad. And that's for something that's continuing to go on. Also has to do with, adds kind of a verby feel sometimes. The examples we have here are la birdoi cantadis, which means the birds were just singing sort of. Well, they didn't just do one song, they were singing all morning long. Ili cantadis la tutan matenon. Then we have age, which means what, do you know?
Became.
Yeah, it means became. So, la sablo sekigis, seka means dry, and sekigis means they got dry or became dry. Rugigis, that means to turn red. And ig is sort of the other side of that, and it means to make something. Make something be something. So, mi rugigas lamuron. I'm going to turn the wall red by painting it. This is called C'è la junulara klubo. La vivo ĉe la nia klubo estas tre interesa, e la sepa disc ludilo ekludas, kaj ludadas ĝis la oka horo. Kiam ĝi silentiĝas. Ni studadas inter la oka kaj la naŭa. Okay, this next section has to do with what they call indirect speech. Note the use of tense in Esperanto. It's different in Esperanto than it is in English. I actually think this first set of examples is a little bit unclear, but we'll go through it anyway and see if we can make sense of it. So he said, I came from New York. So the words that came out of his mouth were, I came from New York. And so if we were to say that in Esperanto, also in quotes, we would say it the same way, mi venis de Novjorko. But if we want to say it indirectly without the quotes, he said that he came from New York. I actually think that should be, he said that he'd come from New York. All right, somebody comes up to you and says, I came from New York this morning. And so I'll tell my friend about it. I'll say, oh yeah, he said that he had come up from New York this morning. And in Esperanto, we don't change the tense like that. We still say it the same way. Li diris ke li venis de Novjorko. Next example. He said, I'm waiting for my suitcase. Mi li diris, mi attendas mian valizon. Indirect, we would say, he said that he was waiting for his suitcase. Notice that the words that came out of his mouth were, I am waiting for my suitcase, but when we talk about it indirectly like that, we change it to was waiting. This is in English. He said that he was waiting for his suitcase. But in Esperanto, you don't change it, so it's the same whether it's direct quote or indirect quote. Li diris que li atendas sian valizon. And the third example they gave us is, he said, I shall go to Paris. The third example they give us is, I shall go to Paris, or I will go to Paris. Li diris, mi iros al Pariso. If we make that indirect, we would say, he said that he was going to Paris. But you don't change it in Esperanto. Li diris que li iros al Pariso. So when you're doing the exercises, if there are any examples of indirect speech, think about what they would be like if they were in quotes. And that'll make that section a little easier. Well, that's it for Lesson 9. Thanks again for watching. And a special thank you to Timoteo and the other patrons who are supporting this channel. Your support really does mean a lot to us. Very encouraging. Thank you. And I hope you will subscribe to the Esperanto Variety Show. We've got one more lesson of the free Esperanto course to do, which we'll do next week. And then after that, we'll see what else we can do. But once again, enjoy learning Esperanto. And until next time, Gis la ravido. I think that's it. All right, so have a seat. Turn the light back on. Have a seat. I think that's gonna be good. Just sit straight.
So we're doing the goodbye.
Yeah, pretty much.